Good night. Welcome to this another episode of the Saudi Press Show. Let me give you a special good night and welcome to this, as I said before, another episode of the Saudi Press Show. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Monday. And of course, I know that you are expecting some very interesting and upbeat sports news, more so. You know, a lot of football fans are here. But let me promise you, for those who love the other sports, are sports fans of cricket especially, we have some cricket that will be coming up shortly. But tonight we will be looking more so at football, Jamaican football, the Jamaican failed bid, I believe, to the 2023 World Cup competition that just um, take place in, of course, the USA. But before I get to that, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome all our first-time viewers tonight. And please remember, stay tuned with us. And of course, like, share, and more importantly, subscribe to this, the Saudi Crest Show. Good night, Mr. Lee. Ever faithful, ever present. What a night we have here, Mr. Lee. What a night. I'm sure that you are very much laughing right now. This is what transpired earlier. And for some of you, I must apologize for what you have seen earlier. I don't know. This is a technical glitch. Maybe from my side, maybe it's more than I. Maybe it's AI at work, the artificial intelligence. Not too sure, but please bear with me. This is how it is, and I must say to you people, I am not yet reached a stage that I would say I'm a professional in this. I am still a guru. I'm not a guru, but I am still learning. A young kid on the block, so don't mind. Please, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, enjoy the show. Stay tuned. And guess what? I'll be alone tonight. So your full participation will be very important to me and to the show itself. So remember now, if you don't yet subscribe, you must do so in order to participate in the chat. Give me your views and like up the show, people. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I ask of you, please like up the show. It's very important. Yes. So of course I see the first like coming in, which is very good. So tonight, Mr. Lee, what's going on in here in the Cali Woods? How do you feel about our failed campaign, I would say? And I say failed campaign to the Gold Cup because the truth of the matter, the truth of the matter is not very much of us Jamaican who really believe that we were tested in the early part of the show. And I'm saying this to say Jamaica had a brilliant opportunity to win this Gold Cup. But guess what? We must also remember that football is a funny old game. It's a game that, as we always say, the ball is round. And if you want to pay attention, if you want to do well, you have to take this ball for yourself, yes? And try to keep it in a selfish manner as a team, not as players, but as a team. Because, as I look at it, every team wants to win. And rightly so. They want to win. Not just Jamaica want to win. And the team that, what would I say now, makes the least mistake will win. Maybe I can change that around a little bit. Not necessarily the team that made this mistake, but the team that do most things good will win. Is that a correct statement? Do you think that's a fair statement? Well, guess what? The truth of the matter, the truth of the matter is that many of us wanted our team to win. Many of us believe our team should win. But the truth again, the other truth of it, did Jamaica do enough to win? Did we deserve to be in the final, first of all? When you listen to many of our fans, and I tend to look at football differently. But when you listen to our fans, they say that we've never been tested in the early part. And we could argue that. But the fact is, if you are playing football, yes, you're expected to win. It doesn't matter who you play. You know, one thing I always believe, when you play against a team that has equal opportunity, and I say equal opportunity because they're in the competition, you think any team go there because they just want to look at you or look at any other player? No, man. The Guatemalas, the Trinidads, they come to win. They wanted to beat Jamaica, left, right, and center. I tell you. But it's because of how it turns out why we are looking at it this way. The truth of the matter, the truth of the matter, Jamaica looks very shabby in that final game that we played, in that semi-final game. Very shabby. Let me take the time out to big up Dale Dunga Thompson. I know you're a good. Hey, you know what, Dale? I know for sure that you will come on tonight, and I want you to help me to break down this Jamaica World Cup team season. I want you to break it down for us. And so, the man who always saved the show, who always, of course, try to make it and give us his honest opinion. Not just opinion, but this man knows the facts. He knows the facts about the football. He watched a lot, he studied a lot, he researched a lot. Dale Thompson. So Dale, if and when you're ready, man, jump in. Help the Saudi Crest show tonight. Because we really want to break this down. We want to look at what would have caused the reggae boys not to perform to their fullest ability. Even though that's not my main topic, but we have to get into it because it's a spin-off from what we believe would have happened. And as I said earlier, the main topic, people, and I want you to digest it. I want you to think about it and I want you to digest it. Why there were no Jamaica, no JPL players, the Jamaica, no player, locally based players who played in the JPL, the Jamaica Premier League, made the Jamaica World Cup squad? There are a lot of answers, and there are a lot of reasons. But we want to look closely at some of these reasons. And people, for not 1 minute, I want you to believe that I am saying that because there's no local based players that would have gone further in the country. That's not what I'm saying. And I'm not even saying that there should be. The discussion will take that into it. Yes, the discussion, of course, will take it. But what I really want to say, and I want people to understand the views, why is it that we are playing a senior Premier League competition in our country, but we are unable? Our players who played well, our players who represent their different clubs in this competition, are unable to make it into a national team. The other question that I'll pose, are there any other national teams who have gone into camps, who have traveled, who are playing friendly, who have played into competition, and there's no local based players in that squad? These are some questions that I want to ask. It may be difficult to get the answers tonight, but I am sure many persons would have closer to different teams, who had followed teams as if it is their own. So, I'm just asking the question just to find out. So, my guru is right here tonight. And no him couldn't resist this, madam. This is his ball game. Dunga!
Where's the Saudi?
Why I tell you, listen, me, man, I want to see your face, man. May I see your ceiling in the bars.
Oh, fine, man.
The
Hold on,
man
I
having,
drink some tea.
is that the cup of cough bars or the cup of iced tea? Which one?
Yeah, yeah. No, man. I remember there I drink some tea because and soon my bedtime,
All right, my boss.
Yeah, man. But yeah, but I watch a tournament still. But sorry, you can only be two in front of you. But even though when we watch, let me tell you, I was impressed with the man, the great vision. in passing. But that link up play with Bailey,
Yes.
very good, very evident. In fact, you could plan for Jamaica and say, look, once you can stop that supply or those two players, you solve 50 or 60 to 70% of your problem.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, even look, even some of the games that were, I'm not talking Mexico. I'm talking, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the game against Trinidad, I think the game against, there's another team there, I forgot. But
Guatemala.
yes, but they get chances in us, Adi. They get chances against us. It's just that's a wee little bit more clinical going forward in the final third. That's where I think because of the quality where we have, yeah. But overall, you can see there's a little chemistry. You can see there's a little chemistry, and I think the more and more this team together, yes, something there. But in the game against Mexico, it's like I think we came out on the field. I think I don't know. I don't think we did have that urgency that that like okay, we are in a semi-final and we need to approach it with a certain. I think we show too much respect, and I think Mexico show that they are a very seasoned team, regardless of their struggles they have. They still know how they still know their way around CONCACAF because
Yes.
let's face it, Mexico never really did anything special apart from really press us, hurry
Hurry.
us, hurry us up, so to speak. I mean, the
Okay.
two goal, the first one was criminal, absolute that criminal side. You
Suicidal.
cannot, huh?
It's a suicidal on Jamaican part.
Yeah, man, that's criminal, man. Not even a schoolboy football, we don't make them the type of mistake side. Have players retreat, but nobody pick up the player who come in the box. The man literally all up in man and says to me, and still nobody don't close him down. But yet we have what 5, 6 players back.
Yes.
That a joke, man.
I think we had
But
enough. Yes.
we more than have enough players. Is I think I don't know. I think maybe Jamaica play the occasion rather than the game.
That's one of my thing. I said, and during the game, because I did watch along, and I had Vassal on the show as well. One of the thing I was actually alluding to, it was a, a little bit of some maybe 26 years back, the way Jamaica played. The occasion was
True,
too much. Yes,
true, true, true.
facing Mexico in a semi-final. I think it got to the players and even
I,
to the coach because my own view. I'm not battering the coaches and I'm not battering the players. We just want to look into certain things. But when I look at the starting lineup, I said on the show that listen, I'm not comfortable with that starting lineup, and the reason being, knowing how Mexico plays, yes, and what Jamaica has to offer. I think, especially in midfield, we were woeful. We did not have the type of players to do the type of tracking and to close down the plays urgently. And that's what hit us.
yeah, and where's the right back, the regular right back? What's his name? Lim. I think his name start with that L. That funny
The,
name, guy.
the regular, oh, you mean Brown?
No, not Brown. He never played. I don't know if he injured or
He
suspended.
came on. He came on. But hold on. Put a stick up in. When we stick up in there, Bunga, the right back, the trusted right back that this coach have is Brown.
Yeah, but he never looked that comfortable.
Jevan Brown has
Never.
never played a complete game throughout the season, throughout
Yeah,
the
but he
series.
never looked comfortable. It looked like he
He,
was always struggling inside.
he's injured.
Him struggle for fitness. You could see it. He evident. Not
Injured.
a bad player, but him just there struggle.
Blessings, everyone. Blessings coming from Dan Lewis. Wagwan, Mr. Lewis, because yourself, my dad. No, Dunga, what I'm saying, he never started the first two games, I believe.
No, he never.
And he came in and he only played about 58 or about 60 minutes. That means he's not match ready.
You're right.
And one other thing I was surprised early in the first half, I think about midway the first half, he picked up a little knock and he was limping. I
Yeah.
thought they would have made a change knowing that he's not 100% fit already.
But sorry, the funniest thing though, I was watching the game and my wife and kids was right here, and the ball out goal before it actually happened. And my wife look at me and say, "How you know them are gonna score?" I say, "Fam, there's certain things where you can see that come like a rain." And you know, what get me though, Saturday, is just that there wasn't any alteration during that first half from the coach that changed. Is either gonna force Mexico back or let them rethink or anything. Because let's face it, I don't see Mexico as a like the we in my book. I think we are better individual, but I think Mexico have a better
Team.
cohesive unit team.
Ah, all right.
So
And I'm
you know,
going to say something that many of you probably would have hit me hard. When I watch a Guatemala game, Jamaica Guatemala game,
mm.
throughout the game, relating to a little cohesiveness with the team, Guatemala looks very good enough.
But that's what I was saying to you earlier. Some of the game that I
They
saw
don't have
Jamaica
the quality
played,
like Jamaica.
yeah, and they don't have the quality, and I think that's the quality of that front three that make Jamaica really dangerous, real dangerous. You have a powerful centre forward who can hold the ball up and can run, very good in the air. That's three main qualities that have a centre forward, and you have two wide men where to be, let's face it, and I go call it, Leon Bailey is very wasteful, as talented as he is, he's very wasteful.
Well, on a second, Duga. Good night, Flasher.
He's not one of them who gonna come here and sugarcoat up. I like the player, don't no doubt, but he's very wasteful. And I tell you what, one time, the great Andy Cole, the former United striker,
Mm.
he might forget 3 or 4 chances to score one, but when he used to do it, make himself so available when dangerous, you know, but he missed. But I would have looked on Leon Bailey and say Leon Bailey take more 5 chances to score.
Hold on a second. I want you
It's
to break it
harsh,
down.
but that's how me really, when we watch him, that's what we really get from him. Good player, very good player.
You
Like
know,
him.
you said something that is a bit harsh, and not harsh in a wrong way. The way
No,
it is. When you
yeah,
say a player is
because a kid.
when you say a player is wasteful, it is very, very hard. And most time we look at that, we're thinking about wasteful in front of goal.
No, not necessarily. I'm
But
not.
I
No.
think this time around, you're alluding to Leon Bailey's play in general. He has
I'm,
given the
I'm
ball away
general.
so often.
I'm general play. I'm general play matter about. That's what may have issue with him. No doubt. Sorry, him talented. No doubt. Talented without dispute. But what I'm saying is when I look at Damani Gray, okay, all right, Damani Gray in body language show a different side to him actual play. You understand? It look like him though interested, but him is not wasteful with the ball. If you understand what I mean. It's like one of them little like a little assassin. Like you don't think much of him, but him hurt you the most. That's what we get from him.
Is
And
a
then
very
now we get the feeling towards Leon Bailey. You think more of him, but him is less harmful. You get what
he
I'm
has
saying?
the name Leon Bailey would have stand out to most people.
Exactly.
And I saw it's because of how his performances, and I will say performances, his lukewarm performances in the Premier League. Because it's not every week Leon Bailey turn up with a good game.
No, no.
You know what I'm saying? But he has done well in the Premier League.
Of course.
So
And to tell you the truth,
we
Daddy, it's
expect
one
that.
player me love to watch him. But at least me not go sugarcoat it. Me have to talk and call it when me see of him. You understand? He is
Mm.
much more talented than Damani Gray, But if you ask me who are the better player, right? Would I tell you Damani Gray?
Hold on,
In
hold on, hold on, Dunga, because I'm gonna have a debate on that before you get out of that state. But let me big up RN. Yeah man, big up yourself, Mr. RN, coming out of Canada. Good night to your guests as well. All right. Listen, Mr. Donaldson, I haven't seen you on the show for a long while now, and I hope you come full and strong tonight. Because guess what, Mr. Donaldson, guess what's gonna happen now? Are you still the manager of the Adrenaline football team? If it is, I need a little talk from you tonight. You need to come and tell us what's happening down there in Frankfurt. All right? So that's Mark Whittick. You know, this guy come on the show tonight. You know, I don't know him just a jump in, you know. But Mark, if I when you're ready, please jump in. I'm going to resend the link. So yes, Mark saying Damar Gray has been consistent performing well for the past 2 to 3 years. That is so true.
That
And
is
that's
true.
what I wanted to debate Dunga with, you
That
know.
is true.
Dunga said that Bailey is a better player than Gray. I don't think so.
No. You get me wrong. Talent-wise, Leon have more talent than Damani, but Damani more consistent. In other words, what I was saying to you,
Mhm.
the lesser player, the player where you think less of is more effective than the player you think more highly of. That's what I
Okay,
just said to you.
Dunga, hold on a minute now. Let us break this down. Let us break it down a little bit.
Mm.
What can Leon Bailey do? Or what have he done?
Him have
That
way more skill.
hold on
No,
a minute.
he
I
has
want
more.
you to break it down. That
Him have,
Damali can't do. Let's break it down. Break it down for me.
all right, I take for a player where would I say um Leon have more skill than him, no doubt,
Mm.
no, absolute no doubt. But what I would say Damani have, I think Damani upbringing have a little bit more technicality in him general play and him knowledge of the game. I think him is a little bit ahead of Leon. I think he's a little bit ahead of Leon in terms of that. And him decision making is a lot better than Leon Bailey. Him
Okay.
decision making is a lot better than Leon Bailey. And when I say decision, him know when to pass, him know when to shoot, and you actually watch him position when him don't have the ball. It may look like him not interested inside, but trust me, him get into position. You understand? But Leon and a raw talent, Sade. I think him more him raw ability where him have make him shine. You understand? While Damani is like one like him have to work hard for bringing game about. You understand? Leon just natural.
People, hold on. People, remember, please hit the like button. Hit the like button and participate. Give me your views in the chat. As you know, our big discussion tonight, even though we have not started it off in that sense. Our big discussion. Why there were no Jamaica Premier League player in the 2023 World Cup squad? That is my big thing tonight.
And that is a travesty in itself. Because I think no matter what your national team is, if you look right throughout Brazil, big football country, when it comes to World Cup side, they always have one or two locals in the team,
This
right?
day, and I just want to
Argentina,
ask every
Argent-
club, every country that I know.
Argentina, Costa Rica, everybody have it. So why that to me is like, yeah, you have a league, but you don't have a league. That means, in other words, I'm trying to say to you, said the players them who play in the local Premier League, you don't think they're good enough until
Ah, or is it the league? A
until
subpar league?
right until they go abroad to play in a different league. That's when you're gonna pick them. That's wrong. That's bad. That is a bad message for send. That is so bad a message you send. And this I take me back to the days when the coach when we never to rate highly. Jeffrey Maxwell. And me never like listen. I think when Simo is have the national team, one of the things that I think most people, even myself, respected him most far is the ability to have have talent, find talent within Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter where they're from, and then him mix that talent with the overseas players and have a proper blend, a proper blend. You understand? I don't think that's the case right now. I think the case is now if you play abroad, you get selected over the players them who play locally, and I don't think you should have that. I think you should have at least 1, 2, or 3 players. I mean, if they are good enough, is not Sadi.
Okay.
You get me?
Okay. Okay.
Good enough. But that but if you just take players and just chew them because you want to please the crowd, and no. You understand? Because that's in this business, if you want to
so
win,
so
in,
Dunga.
in this business, if you want to win, Sadi, let me tell you something. Two things don't marinate in any sport. Insularity, like that we describe West Indies cricket, and you cannot have sentiments. You cannot have sentiments. Sentiments and insularity don't win you nothing.
All
That's
right,
the
let me
recipe
ask.
for
Let,
disaster.
you cleared it up, but before, let me just read this one. Brazil and Argentina players who played in Europe are all born and raised in Brazil and Argentina.
There you
Yes,
go.
and I don't want to go to that level of comparison. Why? There's a far bigger country. The pool is wider, the resources are wider. Put it this way: we are trying to love football in Jamaica. Those persons born football lovers. Good. So I'm not gonna draw that comparison, so to speak. But my view, every nation, when they are going to play, whether friendly or competitive football, there are a number of players from their homegrown league.
Hmm.
They are local league. But put it this way, since you are saying, Dunga, that the players must be good if you want to draft me, right now what this is showing from Coach Algris, that our players don't ready for this yet.
And
Our league is not to the standard.
you know what, Sadi? Sometimes we can say it on the outside. We want to see more players, but when you have a coach who a coach and know the level, what he want to see and where he want to go, sometimes you have to just trust that person a bit and see where it take you.
No man, I'm trusting, But
Mm.
as I say, I am on two different sides right now. As a podcaster hosting the show and the discussion, but as a fan as well. When
Mm.
Hal Gibson first couple of games, we look at he played Trinidad and Tobago here in Jamaica. Good.
Mm.
Those two matches were basically Jamaicans and local players.
Right.
Unfortunately, they never win any. They draw one and lose one.
Right.
All right. So if he had seen them for two games within a week, I believe, he would have easily make some assessment of those players.
So where I
So
try,
maybe, so I am saying maybe that these players that he has seen and worked with locally, they're not good enough.
okay, hence him decide to go a different route with foreign players who him think is more athletic, you know, physically, you know, and so, hmm?
Randy is saying that prior to the Gold Cup, didn't they, he's asking, did the coach use a lot of JA players? Yes, Randy, he did. But I am saying, the question I'm asking, is it that these players weren't good enough?
You
You
see,
know what I'm saying? Because if he used them, if he used them for
but
two,
Sadi,
3 games,
let me ask you something, Sadi.
yes.
Let me ask you something. All right, fair, you depend on the ground at Jamaica.
Mhm.
The best, I have to say the best four team, the best four in the Premier League, right?
Yes.
Have you seen anyone from any of these best four teams that they produce a player that worthy enough to be in the starting 11 in this Gold Cup, guy, in the previous Gold Cup?
Yes, as you asked me, there's a player that I missed out. And I believe this player can, maybe somebody will back me up, from Mount Pleasant in the midfield.
Mm.
Um, oh my God, the name just slipped me. I think that player would have deserved a little bit. I think he played with the matches against Qatar. No,
Mm.
was it Qatar? They traveled overseas in 2 games. And from those games, he was probably a standout player. from those games.
And he never got a chance in the Gold Cup.
Never got a chance. And I think the midfield, our midfield in the Gold Cup, probably was the weakest point of our game
I
from the
tell you
three.
why not. I think he got showed up when they closed down quickly. When given time on the ball, they're very good because thing is that Jamaica midfield is not a slick midfield. In other words, what I'm trying to say, they're not quick.
Mm-hmm.
They're more effective when they are the dominant team, have position and time on the ball. That's where
Yeah.
they can hold their head up and pick the passes for Damani Gray and Bailey, who can make the run the ball over the top. Mexico never allowed that. They pressed them from the get go. So
What do
if
you
you can
think about the
do
team the team that played against Cameroon? Well, I can't remember the entire team then. They represented well. That game was a good game. But I am just zooming and I am not saying that we should bring these teams, And there's another comment that want to from Travis here. But the point I really want to make, Travis is saying that football has evolved, gone past this topic. The best players must play for Jamaica at all times. Yes, I believe,
agreed. Agreed.
agree. But the JPL players were not up to standard to coach. I
Hmm.
agree with you. So he picked other players from other leagues, and I don't have a problem with that. What I am saying, and the topic isn't to say that they should play. The topic really that I want to know is our Jamaican players really good enough? Is it our league here is of the standard? That is what I am coming at. So I'm not saying that we should have at least two or three or one player. No, I'm just saying what is happening. Is it that the players are not good enough? I'm not saying that the coach is not picking the right players. That's not what I am saying. But it is, to me, unheard of, Dunga, for any national team not to have a player who play locally in that squad.
Locally, I tend to agree because you can't tell me that the Premier League is that bad where you can't find one.
Exactly.
You can't. I don't agree with that. I think they're always. That's what I always say.
Yes, Randy. Listen to this. Randy is saying that the better Premier League players get contracts to play overseas.
And
All
there
right.
you go.
I am not. You see, we have a lot of points, and this is a very good point.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout either.
That's a very good point. But listen
Hmm.
to what I am saying. Listen, and listen to what I'm looking at. Now, when you are local players, and we are expecting that these players who we are saying no are the better ones, come next year they'll be going overseas. Now, I am saying in recent time, people, and I'm just want to not counter this, but just to look at the fact of where we are going in terms of development too. The matches prior to the Gold Cup, many of the players from overseas were unavailable. So, of course, the coach has no choice but to pull from our local players. Locally, players who are playing in the local league.
But you see,
What I am simply saying, or what I am asking, then from all those games that these players played, there were no player who could have stepped up a gear to say, well, I deserve at least as a squad player.
mm,
So the players who we are looking at in Jamaica doing very good. I would say, well, one and two. It's not a lot, Me not get me wrong. It's not a lot of players in Jamaica who really caught the eye in the Premier League.
right.
It's not a lot. But the point I'm making, how comes not even one of these players who played from the Cameroon game straight up before Gold Cup and is still unable to find themselves in the squad? Put it this way now. Put it this way. Put it this way. Richardson, Whisper, the John Whisper Richardson,
Mm.
18-year-old, I will say,
Mm,
or 17 plus. He made the squad
why?
based on prospect. It can't be nothing else.
No,
Because
no. The guy, the,
hold
the,
on.
the, the, the guy before the guy just a while ago explained it to you. So I think the point where the guy where I say if you're good enough, then you play overseas, then you play for your national team. I think That's what happened right here.
Yeah, but you're saying because he got a pre-contract to Chelsea?
That's exactly.
Aye. Big
Yeah.
man. What I am simply saying, listen to what I am saying. Very good. I love that, and he should continue to be in the squad. But I am saying,
But man, that's not
after,
that.
hold
There's
on, man.
nothing wrong with doing that.
Listen, after Richardson played Manning Cup, he wasn't playing any competitive football since
But
December.
the thing is that Sadi, yeah, is remember this, If you remember most of the greatest player them who can ever remember, what the age group of them start off.
Listen, me boss.
16, 17, and what they have in common, them never play a lot for them, like for any club or anything. Most of them
Um,
just come through.
many of those players that we learned about 16, 17, even 18, coming out of Brazil and Germany, they were playing in leagues, maybe not the top leagues.
Right, but that's what I try to
Competitive
say
leagues.
to you. Them never did that play nothing big, but somebody spot
Competitive
them and
leagues, Oliver.
I
The
got.
point, and again, I don't want to compare because they are far ahead of Jamaica, miles ahead of us.
Yeah, but it trend not different. You understand?
So,
It trend is
you
similar.
know, what I am saying is that I really love the fact that Richardson, and I believe he deserves more than just a squad player in the present World Cup.
Very
If we're
difficult.
going to look at what he has, yes, or what we believe he has.
Him still have room for
Few UK
development.
players
Still,
were in the game against Trinidad. No,
him
that is true, and those are the practice games.
still have room for development. Not a
Yeah,
bad player in the making.
mhm.
Not a bad player in the making. But you can see if him fall at the right club. I'm not so sure Chelsea is at the right club. But let's see, because Chelsea have a youth system, and that youth system is very different from an Arsenal youth system, a Liverpool youth
It's a
system.
business youth system.
It is a business youth system where you come, if you spend 3, 4 seasons and you're good enough to make Chelsea, you make Chelsea 3, 4 seasons and you don't good enough, and them can sell and make a profit for buy other player, for buy better player. That's how Chelsea work. So the reason right now to me is like a double-edged sword right there. It can go either way. You know?
Oh,
So
yeah.
me not gonna look at you and say Chelsea had the right place in fall. I'm not so sure, but listen, I can be wrong, and would I love to be wrong for the sake of that player.
Lascelles Bongo Thompson. Good night to the legends on the Sally Crest show. Up Sir Dunga, the boss Bongo Lion. That
Saying, yeah, man,
Yes,
man.
Dunga, but all I'm saying, and I just want to split it. I just want to get the views of the people. What are we looking at? Is that we're looking at the fact that we are gearing towards persons who apply the trade overseas, and we're gearing towards the best of the best, which I believe the best of the best. We look at certain things, and let me tell you, we have two strikers in the Premier League this season. We're far ahead of others. Good,
Mm,
right? But I'm telling you, none of those players could have actually made the 11 over any of the 4 or 5 that is presently in the World, who were in the World Cup squad. So I know that. You understand? And I will concede that. But who knows if given a chance to play in such a competition, maybe they would have pulled off the unbelievable.
yeah, could be.
Maybe they could have pulled off the unbelievable. So, I'm not gonna behave as if, they should or they should. I had
Hmm.
a guest recently and I said, I think one of those players, at least one player should have gotten a chance to travel with the squad, to at least learn. The guest Captain White said to me, said, no, you can't waste that resource. You can't
No,
just carry a man to
but
learn.
you should though. You should.
For
You should.
development purpose, we should.
Hmm? You should. Then how the local are gonna get the experience.
We should.
You should. You should.
So Randy, what is it you're saying? I remember watching Harbour View in CONCACAF. I don't see any competitive clubs in Jamaica versus any other Wow, in clubs. All right, all right. Strong clubs make a strong national team. The clubs need sponsorship. So sponsorship to what? To get better players? Is the sponsor will the sponsorship develop the players, Randy? I just see this all of these comments, Randy, very good, And many of us have not seen our own Jamaican club playing in the CONCACAF clubs playoff.
But Sadi,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? To be honest, though, still, for a long time, I watch Jamaica football. I think the forward line of Jamaica have now. As much as we may criticize it, it's even safe to say one of the most dangerous forward line we ever produced.
Ah,
It's safe to say, and we can tell you, if you go back to even when we go France, it may be controversial, but I think this would be a much more rounded front line, better in terms of movements, maybe lack a little bit, uh, you know,
fine tune. Yes,
fine tune,
I
but
know that. You're right, because when you look at a Bailey and Gray outside,
yeah, man, yeah,
and
and
Antonio is no joke. I mean, he never
right,
had
and
never
that's
had
what that's what I got.
a
That's what
good
I
World
try to
Cup.
say. That the overall play between those three up front. I first we can say we have a front line where we can really look for each other.
But another thing though Dunga,
Mm.
and it came out in the Mexico game. We never have a front three in Mexico game. We did
No,
not play with a front three. The coach, hold on, the coach preferred formation is 4-4-2.
which to me, Sadi, and I will say this, I'm going to tell anybody that in this modern game, if you have play 4-4-2, you're not a good coach. And I don't care who you is. 4-4-2 is outdated. It's
Dunga,
not.
repeat, Dunga,
I
repeat
don't
that.
care who you is. I'm sorry.
Repeat it, Dunga.
If
Repeat
you're
what you say.
playing 4-4-2 in the modern game, you're
Eh.
not a good coach. I'll say it again. If you're playing 4-4-2, you're not a good coach because you're coaching an outdated formation. Yeah, I wonder if you understand what I mean. You understand what I'm just saying?
I
If
have Listen,
okay,
you hardly see this formation played.
because it is one of the formation that your opponent easiest way if it work you outside it.
It doesn't matter how you play it.
It does. Sorry, me
Mm.
and you know how a 4-4-2 play. You have your left back, your right back, a centre and two centre half, a anchor defensive midfielder and an attacking midfielder, and a left and a right sided midfielder, and two forward up top.
No,
Anybody in the
and
modern
also,
game,
and also Hal Grips to play it.
better. With the business anybody want to say. I don't think that formation is a recipe for success. I'm
Let me tell
sorry,
you.
but that's how I feel.
Let me tell you. The way Hal Grips plays is four midfielders right across. Good. And
That,
if you're gonna play four midfielders like that, you must play with a sweeper. That's my whole time play.
yeah, but
So if you play in the
some
flat
say,
back four, Dunga, with four midfield going across. A matter of fact, how we played it with Leon Bailey, playing outside left midfield. That was the disaster.
him not do more track back,
And not again. I saw something that was also, in my opinion,
Why, aside him,
terrible.
why, as good as a player as him is, why you think him not be a concrete first teamer at Villa? And not because him can't play going forward, and not because him not useful with the ball. Why?
Nothing much coming back.
Nothing much coming back. And in England, you can't have no passenger on your team, Because
Listen,
the moment the opponents say you have a passenger, that's where they're gonna exploit.
Dunga, let me tell you something, and you probably don't even see it. In the Mexico game, and I've seen it in more than one games, Leon Bailey actually left his side of the field to join Gray on the other side.
Very indisciplined.
And I've seen,
But
I
that's
was
what you call it.
I
Indiscipline.
spoke about it so much in that
But that's
Mexico
where
game.
but this is where coaching come in. Sometimes you have to take off a player like that just to send a message. You understand? Meaning
Listen,
if you're not doing what we want you out there for, you coming on the bench. Come sit down and look. But Ali and Bailey and him afraid to do that. But sometimes you have to do it.
listen, my man. Listen, look at this point Randy I make, and I don't know if he's trying to educate me. I'm trying to counteract the formation that we're
Mm.
talking about. He said your players determine the formation, or you set the formation first, then put the players in.
Which it can work either way.
It's either way,
If you
yes.
have the type of player, then you're forced to play a certain formation. But you, the manager, if you have a style of play, then you get select the player to
Who
match
will play
what you want
exactly,
on the pitch.
exactly. Because I couldn't play a 4-4-2 and having Gray and Bailey out there.
No, it's
No,
not gonna
no,
work.
I can't see that.
That's not gonna work.
Again, people, I am not a big coach, but I think I know little enough to plan for a game.
But as I say, still, you pick players where have a vision of how you, the coach, want to play. You pick players where can carry out or replicate where you practice on the pitch. That is that are them two are the main thing. You don't pick players because okay you like them or you think them can do a job. No, you pick because you know you trust them player to carry out or execute the game plan. Sorry, let's face it, you can be all right as good as Walter Boyd it was, right?
Mm.
Wasn't the most disciplined player. Him basically want to play a free role. So, you know, him and Simo is clash regular, whatever it be, personal, whatever. It just goes to show, you pick players who, you think are carry out where you practice. I just part and pass like him. Work nowhere else.
Dunga, let me draw down this part of it. And Randy is very vocal. Randy, help me out here. Would you say that the coach blunder big time in the Gold Cup?
Well, blunder. I wouldn't. I think the word blunder may be a little bit harsh, but
Strong? All right.
yeah. But I mean that don't mean say it ran the far off from the point where I'm doing it. Because when I watching a Mexico game and at a constant barrage of pressure, I never see Jamaica change gear. You understand? Jamaica don't show we that there's another gear to go. Like they lift them play up because okay, we go behind and we're gonna lift the play up and we're gonna force back Mexico or anything like that. And I think it's sad thing. I think we have a player who could. You understand? You get what I mean? I think we have the players who could. And if Randy wants to say him blunder there, so okay, he
I
could
don't
have do
want to
some.
say it, Dunga, and Randy said it. I just
Oh,
want
okay.
Randy to give his views on
Okay.
that.
If you say him could have make some alteration for make about some changes on the pitch, of course, I agree with that. Cause you go 1-0 down, no reaction. 2-0 down, no reaction.
So what else? What do you
Exactly.
want me to say then?
That's where the coach earning money. The same have to make some
Listen,
decision.
Randy said no, he wouldn't say blunder. But I
Okay.
will
All right.
continue to
There
use the
you
term.
go.
Let me start. Let me start why I would say blunder. 1-4-4-2 formation. Big blunder that.
Okay.
I want to call it a mistake.
Yeah,
Dunga.
football. Yeah, football is
4-4-2 formation having Leon Bailey playing midfield. Eh?
but I think that
I
I'm
no sir. No, that is where I think you went wrong. First
mm,
of all.
When you look over the side of that man, the grade, him always track back,
Big man,
Uh,
that's what I'm saying. So it would have been better Gray play the midfield and Bailey go up.
I think he'd get more time because him have ability to hold up here and pick a pass, even under pressure.
Ever since I've been watching Gray and Bailey play for their respective clubs, see, I see Gray playing from Leicester to Everton. I see Bailey playing in Leverkusen to Aston Villa. And they are always playing wide.
They might just genuinely wide man, but if you
So why
ask me,
is it that you're carrying these players as genuinely wide players and
you
want
know,
them to tuck in?
no, you know something though, Sadi, as and this is what me tell you, that man the great have the ability to play both wide and central,
Yes, no
Ali and B
doubt.
can play central.
All right, stop it right there. So you see what I'm saying? So the one who can do both never made the play.
Yeah, me agree with you.
So that's what I'm saying, boss. That's all I'm saying. So that
But
is my
yeah,
first.
where the coach come from, Sadi?
Hmm?
Where the coach come from?
Iceland.
Look, man.
You're going to zoom in now for personality and
No, but may I
environment.
say, may I say why what we know about this coach that's him we have to choose? What financial? We can afford him.
Um,
But what
you
has
know,
he done? Me not say
coach
me not say well.
Iceland to he brought Iceland to World Cup
Yeah,
prior to this from nowhere,
yeah,
and
but
I've seen some games that has shown some level of respectability, I would say. And listen me not, Dunga, what I have seen and how I think he get this team together, I think he's been doing a very good job in terms of coaching and developing a team.
so
No doubt.
in other words, we are trying to say give him some more time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Okay, fair enough.
I am just zooming in on this particular game, not its overall performance right now. You get what I'm saying?
But
So,
let me ask you something. In a your view, since him take over the national team, is there a vast improvement in terms of where player are? Is it where we have a little bit more cohesiveness in terms of like harmony in a squad? Where you think?
I think, mm, I think the way he has selected or brought in his team, his players,
Mm,
seems to be a bit different. He does just join players because, for joining sake, so to speak. He
okay.
has, selected based on form and he has put them together. I've listened to some the way that how he talk about the players that he's looking at, and the way he's doing
All
it.
right.
It gives us a little thing.
Does he have the backing of the private sector in Jamaica?
A little. And I said it's just that I think a few people start to get some conversations in, and so we believe that it will grow. But Dunga, keep if I don't know if you can keep the show alive for about 2 minutes. Let me just get somebody at the door, pick up something, and come right back.
Yep.
Can you?
Yeah, man. We keep it going, man.
Yeah, man. Just give me that 2 minutes. Excuse me, people. Just give me a few. All right.
Although I'm not say in the box, in the chat, but yeah.
You can't see the chat.
No, I can't see the chat. I don't see the chat.
You're supposed to, man. Look. You see on the right side of your screen. Can you see comments up at the top?
Up at the top.
Comments, banners, and so on.
Comments. Wow. Oops. I don't even see it.
Just give me that. I'll come right back.
What's a minute ago? Look like me now. See what I go on. Say fireworks. Oh, okay. Thank you for that. West Randy is a good squad.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. All right, so we are back. We are back. We are back. So what I'm saying, Dunga, as it relates to the fees in the bucketive, let me just take these few chats. Let me see. So we have big up yourself, my youth. I don't say I come a class late these days, RR. Come a class late. But um where did he say that now? So Randy, blunder is Bailey taking the free kicks and ball not beating the first man. Yes, of course, no doubt about that. All right. RR saying beat them, Saudi. Who is it I should beat? RR. I'm not really beating them as such, We just want to look carefully at this thing because let me say, sometimes we don't hold people accountable for their actions. Yes, we just allow certain things to go down, or to slide. But the truth is, where I will say this ever again, I'm not talking about the coaching blunder right across. I'm talking about this particular Mexico game. All right, people? That's so don't get me wrong. I believe the coach is doing a very good job developing this team, putting and he has made it clear that his main thing was going to the World Cup. I think at one stage I heard, look at it, you can say that the World Cup would have been some practice games, so to speak, going to World Cup qualifiers. And I do understand. He under pressure to get the team qualified. As much as we believe that is an easy route this time around. Bailey don't take any free kicks in his club. He must know must know limitations. Well, then again, too, who knows? Maybe in the training, he is the star of the free kicks. Maybe. Just saying. Man, them recruit was bad. 6 front man trying to play 4 at once. You have a point there. You have a point there, but maybe you see, and all right. I will say this to say when I did my own research and look into Coach Hargreaves, he is more and less a defensive coach, defensive mind coach. So what he does, he depends on his attacking players to do much of the attack. But if you notice, and that is why I believe him love the 4-4-2 formation, Duncan. But not having the right set of players, I believe, to cover that 4-4-2, especially against these hard running teams. You know, I must big up Captain White because he made a mention of that and said that these North American, Central and North American teams, they run very hard and they don't stop running until the match finish.
Yeah, but sadly, but that's what we did a talk about. I iterate that from the get go because maybe the reason why I'm going for the overseas players are because maybe a little bit more professionalism, more athleticism rather than the local players. But if you get players where are just fit 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, you can't change much in us side. That's why club football quicker have a cohesiveness over international football because club football you have players with a whole 9 month per season, while the national team is only 2 week, most I get 3 week leading to a major tournament. Not much.
See,
So
RR, I bring up some very good points. Sorry if you cut your Dunga, but me have to talk. RR saying that taxi a waste of farm. It's a waste of farm. And I'm saying this to you, RR, I believe that because when I make mention, and we may, use some of these players that he took to the tournament. Taxi, I believe, I'm not sure how much taxi in the coach's plan for 2026. We're talking about another 3 years.
yeah. And before you know it, you come here, you reach here.
And if you want to develop, if you want players to get a chance, players with young, fresh legs, young-minded players, this is how we are saying use this competition to get them up to speed. Maybe
Hey,
never have enough time to get a better player than Taxi.
hey, Sadi, we're gonna go back to Simoes again because when Simoes started, Simoes never have a best Jamaica team. What Simoes did is that graduation of players from the under 23 that came over. Remember,
That is true.
remember, is a
Olympic
brave
squad.
move.
The
It's a
Olympic
brave.
squad.
You remember say in take that six play. I think it was 6 players out of that team and start them in the Caribbean Cup. That even remember Lance Whitaker we are commentate on the game and said this is a new era of football because there's nothing when Jamaica never do nothing like this before. You know something there's a fortune in favor of the brave. And how well it worked out for Simoes. Remember, right through you have right through from the qualification all the way up to qualifying. We have local players tonight, right? So it just show you say when you get the blend right with foreign player and local player, it can work, Sadi. It can work.
And I'm saying it can, and I believe it will. And more time because he has the time. Don't feel away. I think he have enough time to get these together. And so the players, I'm saying, and that's why I alluded to the taxi business, taxi man, which is Lawrence. The age factor, who will be ready in their prime in 3 years' time? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So look at this now, Dunga. Look at this now. The taxi Lawrence I'm talking about. He could have left out of the squad. Randy says a good squad. I don't have a problem with the squad per se. I'm just zooming in to see could we find younger players or persons here and based on the topic that I am discussing, from Jamaica who could have, yeah, made it to a left back over Taxi. Yes, Taxi may have vast more experience. Yes, over that. There are players. Me know.
But you need players to compete with him.
Why carry experienced players go sit on the bench right through tournament, Bridget? These are the questions that I'm asking, you know.
Can't do that again there.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we had players who we will need going forward. But that is another story. That's another story. So don't Bongo said, don't a coach underestimate Mexico. Listen me, man. Ah, boy.
Me not gonna say that, no. Me not
In
gonna,
some ways you can say it, but they never start the match like them underestimate a team. When they
I don't know
underestimate a
why.
team, you start to rush them.
Right. But I think them show too much respect to Mexico.
More so.
I think that to me, I think too much respect. Sorry, it would have fear for me to say it looked like Jamaica never really come out of the dressing room. If Mexico look like they come for have a fight, I come for a fight.
Big man.
It's like Jamaica never turn up with that urgent. It's like Mexico know what is at stake and Jamaica don't know what is at stake. You get what
Remember
I'm
that we
saying?
played Mexico in a friendly match earlier?
Hmm?
Drew
1-1.
Tual.
Yeah, two
Remember
all,
where
yeah.
that match was played?
Huh?
You remember where that match was played?
Me don't quite remember, you know, but me don't
Mexico.
say when the game we did watch it tell her like I think a 1-1 or something like that. But me did
Tual.
no, me know say 2-all finish, but I think me watch it when a 1-1 and
So
something like that.
Mexico decides that they're not coming lightly. They're gonna take the game to Jamaica. And if
Eh?
I asked the question, I asked Vassy this question because he was somewhat a part of the national setup. What about the data analyst part of the game for this Reggae Boys team? Well, he alluded that one of the assistant coach, one that Hal Gibson brought with him, that's his specialist. That's specialist in that area. But shouldn't they have done much more homework on Mexico? Because we don't try at no point in the game that we see that we want to combat or to stop Mexico
But
from
but
playing.
that's what I said to you then. So a data analyst then it's not working because there's nothing when them change drastically for you try to say, okay, all right, you see the idea when them are trying to tamper down on Mexico and get a foothold of the game. You know, we never see no evidence of that, brother. So what is this data analyst doing? Because it's just sad. It's a way in a modern game, you know. It's a big way in a modern game. Analysts, yeah, you can give coach information half an hour, 20 minutes into a game, and them can change. They're not going to change the personnel on the field, but them can use like players in, alter certain things to stop the flow or stem the flow where taking place.
Dunga,
You have that.
let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Right now, when you look at how other teams are using the technology with the data, you have to give them kudos. Let me raise this other point. And I'm gonna let a little push out of the back. Hopefully it doesn't affect anyone. Our own Gerald Pennant in Canada is analysis, a data analyst.
Right.
And he played a role in the Canadian Football Association. A matter of fact, his main role, or what they call it, he is the scout. He's one of the scout. And not scouting to find players, but scout to find about players from other teams. Do we as a country, as a nation, as a football team,
I don't think we
does
reach a
that?
level yet.
Eh?
I don't think we reach a level yet.
Oh my God. No, sir. What you say to me? You know, Richard, sir?
No.
You
No.
don't think we reach there, Dunga?
No.
Oh boy. We think so, man. It shouldn't be far off. It shouldn't be far off. Trust me. Me not think so. Because, big man, let me tell you this, regardless of what you want to say, because, hey, let me tell you something, Dunga, man. We can and we should be able to reach that point. Big, if clubs can do it, why can't we? A matter of fact, Mount Pleasant Academy in Jamaica here, probably one of the most um, financially strong club. Football, Mount Pleasant Premier League, not the academy, so to speak. The things that they have and working with is probably far better than what the Jamaica national football team has.
Well, there you go. So when me tell you maybe we don't reach there yet, you know for kill me.
Hey,
Although most things, to be fair, most things start at club level.
I said the coach never doing homework. But uh, as I say, I think what happened, in my humble opinion, and if me wrong, you don't chastise me. If you don't feel say me wrong, it's opinion. I think the occasion got the better of the coaches and the players. That Mexico game. So we actually went back to 40 years back in our
No,
football.
Larry, that's exactly what we tell you. Jamaica play the occasion rather than the match.
When you say, all right, you get the best all-time squad for the World Cup. Wilfred Schaefer got lesser talent, right? Equal final, top a match it. Again, RR, you're right. But all those two coaches had more time to prepare for a World Cup tournament than this coach. So they did better in terms of performance, but they had more time to prepare for that tournament than this coach. So we have to take that into consideration too. All right. Ah boy, no, I think you're hitting too hard right now. As I said, for that Mexico game, I strongly believe that the coaching staff would have blundered. Yes, they never doing enough homework. That's just I believe. But overall, I don't think they're a joke. I think they're trying and they're doing a good job so far. So we need to just give them more time. All right. Completely different team when we drew with Mexico. They changed their coach right before the game. All right, Randy. Good. Good. Right before the World Cup, they changed coaching. So that means that the coach never have enough time to put his own mark on this team. So that means they shouldn't be far better than Jamaica if all things were equal. But
And
again,
they,
man
and they
for man.
first, and they first that happened, you know.
Hmm?
And then first that happened when Mexico changed their coach just before tournament. Remember the World Cup, they qualified for the World Cup and they fired coach and qualified them for the World Cup. And remember that?
Well, you're right. And still
Okay.
perform. So they just have good players, good
There you go.
programs.
Basically they have a system in place where no matter the coach, that system still are the safeguard that. It's just like Spain. No matter who comes, Spain play that way. You understand? No, you can fire the manager and get different. That's the way they play. Brazil. I team me kind of confused me for my last couple of years where them one moment they play Brazil football and another moment they play European football. So sometimes I confuse me. Don't know what to expect from them.
Randy, are easy, man. Man, mark hard,
Mm.
You're saying that who was the bigger names with Tapa and Schaefer? No, and I'm not going to the names. As me say, we agree that they did better than this coach. But yet still, they had more time to put the team together. Again, That is all I will say with that. You are right, we have a name team, a name brand team, as opposed to what Schaefer and Papa has. Not complaining, but what I am simply saying, they failed. There was a blunder from my view, so I don't like me, I take it away from that. No. It's just that to compare the situations, you also have to look at everything that makes the issue what it is. All right. So, of course, Randy, back you up. Thank you, Randy. So, Randy, give us something you want here. G Prento, like you just make, man. You just make. Pick up yourself, G Prento. Greetings. Yes, so Jamaica had 8 EPS players, no language barrier, and they pros. So what are you saying then? We had a language barrier in the team? No, sir. No, we can't have so many players from England and everybody talk English. Some of us talk patois. And believe it or not, most of those English-based players, most of them know little patois. They know enough to get around to each player in the squad. Yes. So, I don't think the language barrier is so much a big thing. Big man, when you look at club football, you can't find language barrier nowhere else more than in a club football. Highly. The barriers are so broad, are so thick, but they still know how to communicate because football is the language.
Yep. Red card and yellow card.
Yeah, man. So, yes, Randy, you see, they all play alike. Mexicans, same mentality and program. No matter the coach or players,
Yeah, man,
they
no matter,
have
man.
a right. So, Randy, let's just get back. You see this point that Randy make? Why Randy, you're genius. Randy, you're genius. But I'm going to use this same one to go back to the fact that I was talking about our national Premier League players and none of them. How will we, how will we get to a stage where all players play the same system, play the same way, have the same
Grassroots,
understanding no matter what the coach? If we don't have
grassroots
a roots,
football.
if we don't have a base.
Grassroots football aside the structure at club level leading to national level. It's simple.
So, but Dunga, but we don't have that. If this is the way where
But,
the national, the base players
mhm.
cannot make the national team.
But
Again, to
sorry,
I'm not saying because we're good grassroots development either.
sorry. One time, Alex Ferguson said, I think, and he made me start dig deep in the European football. Him say one time, uh, him say in England,
Mm.
average player coming through an academy have 3.5 hours a day football, f- training with the football. The average player coming through Spain, where they play football a day, average, I mean young players where you develop. The man say you talk about anywhere between 12 and 15 hours. The man say, how can 3.5 hours compete with that? That's why the Spaniard them are gonna always have the ball, because that's what them train for every day. So the point to me I try to make to you, because of that, when them institute, it don't matter
Yes,
the coach who come or go for the national team,
because the
it's the way
system
you're
is
gonna
there.
play.
System is there.
The system is there, it don't matter who, and it will prevail.
Dunga, I
And
said we can use this to match certain things now. When you watch like the Brazilian leagues, I don't know how many of us zoom into this league, the Argentine league, the teams that actually elevated, all of them play the same way.
all of them play the fast, snappy style of football. It's like street football
You
where we
don't
play.
listen, me man. I am watching them. They don't play differently.
No, man, but that's what I tell you. Say, look, once you have it there, once you have a philosophy of how you're going to play, and no matter where which one of the institution or which one of the club where you go, the same way them play, that's it. That's it, sir. Germany, them man for them way of playing, them not change. That's for them way that.
Because everybody come from a different look here. All right, you remember one stage it was like 7 players coming from Germany who play for Bayern Munich.
All right, then look on it. You have like what 8 players with in the last World Cup where Spain win 8 or 9 of them players play for Barcelona.
You
So
get what I'm saying?
so when them come on national team level, there's no banding a go on there. You already farm from club level.
So, but now it changed because they put in a system that, you know, a club structure. And I'm not talking so much about the La Liga, League, or the EPL, but the grassroots structures should come at an expense as the national program. So you develop these players from early. All right, RR, me understand what you're saying now. Cool, as we say, if they are pros, they will go. And the club, and yeah, all right. So very good, not a problem. But having to say selection issues because of barrier, that's what I understood from it. But thanks for the clarity. All right. G Prento. Then see the Englishman them a do the drift dance in a locker room. Almost dead me say Antonio boy. So they understand. They understand each other. They get in the culture, which is good. Which is good. What I really believe though, with all what I am saying, what I want to see is when you see these players being drafted, especially those who are from overseas, and that's the problem I had earlier before this coach and the past couple of years. They just go in and pull a number of overseas based players. They don't even business the quality that they play at. Once they are playing in English, in England, or in the English league, they just pull them in.
That to me is wrong.
That's what was happening. And I
That
don't think that was done from the coach's perspective. Yes, I think it was more of a external source. A coach to some players. Football is a language in Saudi. All pros speak football. Exactly. It no matter where you go, it's football. That's the language.
yeah, man.
You know? Because if you tell a man say control in a pass, when you pass a ball, your man is supposed to know either if you control or if you give it a one-time pass. Wrong or right. A player should be able to know when to turn or when to dribble. Instead of you say turn. Yes, because if you don't shout and ask back for it, you know say him have a freeway. What kind of system he could use with 4 at the front, 2 in the middle, 4 at the back? 4-2-4. That question is a 4-4-2-4. I remember that formation was a formation in the 70s and 80s, 4-2-4, yes? Especially in Italy and England where they used to play the very long balls. Maybe you're too young to remember those things, eh? But let's see. 4-2-4. That's the system, my boss. All right. Dunga, what formation would you use? Dunga soon come back. We're going to ask him when he return. Understanding your teammates' strengths and weaknesses. You should be able to play fundamentals of football, but there's a missing cohesion. What is the missing cohesion? Now tell me, is it football ability? Is it Dunga, you have another system and
Right, no, sir.
so let me get the feedback from as you come back.
Oh, I don't know. My TV well low.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, man, the TV, me dep on YouTube, me dep on.
On the TV or on your phone?
No, man. The TV I play different things.
Okay. Yes.
But it pretty much, you can't even hear it, so.
No, man, that's fine. I think maybe it's because you just jump in a while ago here or something.
I think so.
All right. So, yes, G Printo, there's a lot of other things that I believe contributed to lack of cohesion. Yes, and those things will take time.
Yeah, man. Cohesion take time. It take a
It will
little while.
take time. Yes. Hello, that Grim went there with 4-2-4. Dunga, I said Al Grips went to the tournament with 4-2-4 formation.
I don't think so.
But he asked this Dunga, he was asking, what formation would you use?
Based on the players that I have,
Hmm.
I think 4-3-3 would be good, would be a wise, but you have to get Leon Bailey for track back. The issue I know Damon agree,
Because Antonio came back a lot.
I know Antonio. You go get Antonio came back a whole heap of time, man. What you talking about, man? The issue Leon Bailey indiscipline. As good as a player him is, I love him, but him indiscipline. But if you can get him where where him discipline and focus, yeah, he's a hell of a player you have play on.
I think Leon has a mental situation. Mental in the sense that right now he believes that he's under pressure. And
Well,
rightly so, every player playing for their national team must endure some pressure because there are other players who want to play, you know, and there are other people who believe that some other player should be playing instead of you. So there's good pressure that you should be able to. But as a professional, you should be able to get over that.
yeah, but Sadi, trust me,
So if he is unable to
sometimes
get over that, that's a mental issue.
sometimes some player wait when them a carry really never really make them flourish, you know. They never get out from under it, you know.
But no, 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 no.
I tell her.
You know, sometimes, Donga,
Yeah.
I heard people talk about that pressure. So if Leon Bailey, you think Leon Bailey pressure that he's playing for and with Jamaica is anywhere near the pressure that Messi go under playing for Argentina?
No, that's different level, Sadi.
But this
In
is
the,
what
in
I
a
miss.
in a
Donga.
Messi case, you know, well, I know in a Messi case, Messi is expected to win the World Cup. That different from we playing trying to qualify for a World Cup.
Big man, hold on, man. Leon Bailey feels the Jamaica pressure to win this World Cup. Yeah?
I
Leon
don't
Bailey
think
feel that Jamaican fans expect him to score and do well every time he play. Now. He said that, you know.
well, look, let's face it. You play a Bayer Leverkusen, you get a big money move from there come to the Premier League. Yes, that come with some pressure. And that come with expectation. And that expectation is that you need to perform all the time for Jamaica. But let's face it, him not perform for him team every week either. He hot and cold. You understand what I'm
I know,
saying? Him
that's
is not,
I know
in
that.
other
I know
words,
that.
I'm trying to say to you, he's not as consistent as we make him out to be or want him to be.
Let
In
me tell
other
you what
words,
happened.
we expect more from him than maybe we might expect from himself.
You see, Craig Butler, Leon Bailey's manager,
Mm.
the way he sold Leon Bailey,
Ah, there you go.
that's where the pressure is at.
That's where the pressure. So the pressure come to him, not directly from him, but indirectly.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying there's a mental issue. And you have to get over that. Because I don't think Jamaica, you see, yes, we are saying no, why we can't see the Leon Bailey that we see on our TVs every week or, every other week. When it comes to Jamaica, it's just nothing. Who would you bench from the four? Which of the four? The back four or the front four? Tell you, see what. Missing cohesion, a fixed group needs to play together for a while. That way they can play with duct tape over their mouths. Hey, no matter bringing them army regime and a chicken. Yes, but that is true. If you, that's how cohesion, that's how you get cohesivity in your game. That's how you get people knowing each other. It's playing together for a long while, extended period of time. And this World Cup is just a part of it, people. Now, after the World Cup, people soon getting back to their clubs. Yes, because the competitions will be start, especially in Europe, mid-August. So it's people getting back. So you don't have that. So you know, with the experience that you have gained through your club, through your different leagues that you played, We're expecting you to be a leader, yes, and leader in your own right, so you can pull others with you. You can share. We talk about best practices. Football is not just on the pitch. Yes, I don't think the football right now is just on the pitch. It is much more than that. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to subscribe if you have not done so, because I see a lot of people at each and around the show. Let me tell you this, thank you very much for participating. Thank you for staying on. I must say this. We have over 40 persons already viewed the show since night. That's what my analysis is showing me. Yes, and we only got 10 likes. Come on, people, man. Hit that. Also, just a few people in the chat. Come on, man. Share with us. The family, the Sari Crest family. All right. So, where was I now? So again, G Prento, what is the difference between the Guatemala and the Mexican game? We had more confidence in the Guatemala game. Trust me. We had a we were so confident in the Guatemala game. And I don't think the Guatemalan have the quality that we have. But they were playing together as a team. I've seen the Guatemala team at one stage play this ball around, having making 6, 7 passes together, in mid pitch, not just run a back, I've seen that, people. I don't know if you don't see it, Guatemala against Jamaica. At one stage, Guatemala play put more passes together than we, the Jamaican team. Believe it or not. So Bailey is cold and hot. They say that hot and cold. you know. Ah boy. G Prento, tell me a little about Panama. I know you as a Panamanian. You you love the Panama team. Of course. Panama, trust me, I really love the Panama team. This Panama team played very good. Very, I will talk about Panama team playing good. People, how much more confidence do you have of Jamaica going to the next World Cup? What you have seen in this World Cup, not from Jamaica, but what have you seen from our competitors? What have you seen from our opponents? Do you think that these opponents will just lie down and hope they will make the fourth or the third spot to disqualify us? Wake up. Look at Panama. I'm telling you, Guatemala comes good too. And put nothing past Trinidad, they will come back with a tough fight. These teams always play grudge matches, We have the El Salvador, we have the Honduras, the Costa Rica, all of those teams to contend with people. The thing is a joke thing. But let's see what happens. How long the camp for, Sadi? How long them camp for? Oh, I think they were together for about 7 days in camp. They were playing, I think when they went to Qatar, not everybody, but if you notice though, when they played against Qatar earlier, very few of these players were in that squad. There are so many of them having issues. I mean, there's this one player who I thought would have come to the Gold Cup, Ethan Pinnock. I thought Ethan Pinnock could have been in our defense for the World Cup, but there are some family issues. His wife has, a newborn baby. I think it was a twin. I'm not too sure, but don't quote me on that. But there were some difficulties, so he had to stay away and stay with his wife. That is understood. But Ethan Pinnock, I think, could have assisted our defense a little bit more and helped to get that midfield staying together. Because when you watch that guy play, I don't know how many of you watch him, but he plays with a sort of command. The old-time defenders who talk to their midfielders and get them to do things. I think he and Lowe would have given us a better game. But such is the nature of it. So yes, there are so many of these players in the practice game leading up to World Cup. We're not there. So you have some practice game prior to the World Cup. And the players who you want to play never played. Again, thank you, G Prento. You're an R on it. So like up the thing, peeps. Like. Press the like button. All right, let's go. So, Is pizza good football food? Aye. No, sir. No, 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 no. I'm not sure. I don't think pizza is really a healthy food for any sports. But we can always say what is healthy or what is not healthy. But I don't think it's nothing it'd be too bad for you to have a slice or two of pizza playing football, you know, having it like a appetizer or probably dessert. But I'm not sure that that would have been a main course meal anywhere at all for sports. All right. So week saw this so far. Week with what, my boss? Guatemala, Panama, Honduras, Haitians. Oh, that's what you're saying. All these four teams that you have said, they said Guatemala, Panama, Honduras, and the Haitians. And we still have El Salvador, Costa Rica, Cuba, hmm, yes, Trinidad to contend with for the qualifier. So it will not be an easy run at all. Every team who have the same passion like we know, that we have a better chance going to World Cup. The fact that Canada, US, and Mexico not qualifying are not playing in the qualifiers round. They have that confidence too. They felt good, just like Jamaica. So we won't have an easy run. It doesn't matter who we put out there. Get that straight. It is World Cup qualifier. This is where teams and players will put their feet, legs, heads, everything on the line. So if we don't step up to the plate, and more so, all these things that we mentioned about, they were watching us in the World Cup. They're gonna start watch our players who playing in the EPL. They wanna watch them week in, week out, and use those data to analyze the players and to analyze our Jamaican team. So what I am saying, my suggestion is right now, let's take a little bit off the football field and go more to the technology, especially in this time where there are no competition. We need to start to scout the players from other teams. All right? Did you see Taxi with the back? No, I didn't see him. I didn't see it at all. When I never see it. What was this after the game? Are you are you dangerous, you? No, I didn't see it though. Trust me. I would like. Can you tell me when was this? After the game or when? All right. I'm saying I'm saying our chance look weak thus far. Okay, yes, I know. And I'm not saying it is weak, but it is challenging. We have a very good chance, man. Trust me. On paper, we probably sound better than the other teams. People remember we still need some other likes, all right? Still need it to like. So even though we will have challenges, I don't think the chances are weak or a chance. We still have a very good chance, but there will be challenges. We're not giving up, man. Come on, RR, man. How many excuses you hear from Grim since he get the program? Let me tell you something. I've heard a few, and to be honest, some of these excuses are real thing. The only excuse him can use now for the failed Gold Cup bid, him can use the fact that our fields are not good enough because our players were not at the Gold Cup. And none of the matches were played on our fields. All right? Good. So whatever excuse him use, him can't come with that. All right. So Brento, Panama, quality team, discipline, accurate pass, and control. Don't buckle under pressure. Number 8, 10, and tell forward. Well, and tall forward, I think, is Sanchez. Excellent players. By the way, Brento, who win the World Cup? Who win the Gold Cup last night, people? That one catch me off guard. um, so you're saying that local's not good enough. Pro's not fit enough, bad grass. All right. Let me tell you something. We are preparing a football field, you see? And in the next 2 years, you probably will find one of the best surface in Yuatan St. Catherine. Yes? The Bramwell Park Sports and Park Complex in Yuatan. Next 2 years, I'm telling you, will be the best surface. One of, not gonna say the best, but will be one of the best and more talk about surface. All right? Just get that one straight, everybody. I promise you that. The phone dead. I suspect something like that. All right? Sorry about that, but all right, Bill, no problem. You have to give me, you are giving us some very quality time. I myself is going, not the phone is there, no, but mentally I'm getting weak as well. So people, looking at that and what was said, I want to draw my own conclusion why Coach Algrims have not seen it fit um, to pick anybody from our local Premier League. I think what he's saying is that the players are not yet at the standard to which he wants them to, because you have seen quite a lot, You have seen them over a few months training, having different training camps with them, playing different practice games. And I don't think he trusts our local players, especially after those two Trinidad games. I don't think he trusts them. Yes, that's just me. As a coach, the way I will be looking at it, yes, having these players playing in Jamaica against a Trinidad team who in Trinidad, there's no, presently or during that time, there were no football leagues, no senior football leagues played there for over a year. But the Trinidad team came here and looked far better than us, who we are playing week in, week out. Mark, some of these Trinidad players were playing overseas, don't get me wrong. But if you should put everything together, so the standards, what I'm talking about as it relates to the teams or the competition, is very, very important. Coach Al Gibson, what I'll ask of you though, you'll have to come and to help to develop the standard of this Premier League in Jamaica. You're not just going to coach this national team because you want to see things better. And for next year, coach, our next season, we want your input, yes, to see how we can develop the standard of the players, the standard of the leagues, right? All right, but the man gets standard players and beat St. Kitts, Trini, and clinch one past Guatemala. Big man, we never had a good competition coming through. Yes, St. Kitts run over, Trini run over, they clinch with Guatemala, and I'm saying, I don't want to get me wrong either, But sometimes we look at teams because they don't have any name, like a Guatemala. But do you know where the Guatemalan players play? Do you know where they play? The leagues that they're playing? There are two players on that Guatemala play who play. One of them, I think, played for Ajax in the Dutch league. Two of them play in the Dutch league. I don't remember which team the other one played for, but one of them played for Ajax. So they have quality players too. But they don't have a football name like a Reggae Boys or a Jamaica. So we believe that we should have trashed them. Big man, the ball is round, and if we don't do most of the things right, we will not win all the time. All right? So Guatemala, as I said, I was impressed with how they played. They show that they have quality on the field. Quality. But because people were looking towards the big exciting players that we have from England and not looking at that team perspective. All right? Generally, yes, G Printer, such early goal from Mexico would not face a good team. Yes, plenty of time to recover. But I think Jamaica was rattled and repossessed onto the old ways. Mexico did not allow them to regroup. And you know what happened, Chicken? Prento? Mexico did their homework, boss. Mexico did their homework. They realized that they have to take the game to Jamaica, And that's what they did. Mexico played a very, what is it now, close, cluster midfield. Mhm. And the wing backs don't go high. And one of the time with Mexico wing backs, they're not even take throws because they're not giving Gray and Bailey any space. And if you notice, all the time, Mikel Antonio was closely marked. Check it out. And at no point in time, people, at no point in time throughout the game, our Mexican forwards were marked closely, unless it's a set play. We're playing this zoning defense and we were unable to track them. They were so fast moving. We were like hand carts to Mexico. And that's why I believe the occasion get the better of the players. The occasion get the better of the overall Jamaica team on that night. Shell shock with that for a goal in the second minute or third minute. It would have killed a lot of teams. As G. Prento said, good teams can recover. But if you're not a quality team, and if you're going to look at who you're playing, if you're going to look at who are the players, we're dead, man. We're dead. Pick up yourself, Mr. Harris. As you come in, make sure you hit the like button, my boss. Hit the like button right now. All right. So, PBA chairman that, Dallas Harris. All right. So, the entire CONCACAF team going to copy our blueprint. Watch out for the World Cup qualifier. What and the I don't even know how to talk about that but to copy our blueprint. You're talking about to get players from overseas, getting players from England and so on. I'm not too sure that of the teams that are doing that, The teams that are getting the players from overseas are players that they always have. Because I was doing a little research. I'm trying to put together some information. And when you look, people, I don't know if you go on the FIFA site, you will find some information of players who are moving from country to country. But what I notice is that there are not a lot of clubs who are having issues with passports of players to get a chance to play. Very few. So maybe if that is the blueprint you're talking about, that's another story. Can we combat that? If that's a good blueprint, why not? Good night, everyone. Dallas. Yes, boss. Big up yourself wherever you is, Mr. Chairman. All right. Bless up, Dallas. All right. I think I was in discipline with a JAT. I think it was. Oh, not is. Because me know you never indisciplined, not Dallas. He was a disciplined player. All right. But indiscipline in what sense, Dallas? Because maybe for players, but generally not. Yeah, you could say the team, yes. But it's sad. There are so many things to look at in terms of that team. So many things. They were out partying in Vegas. What you say? Hold on. When was the partying? You saw them partying, Dallas? You saw the team partying in Vegas? Was that the night or 2 nights before? Oh my God. Yes, sir. All right. Blessings. Mexico and the Central America teams are relentless. They move constantly off the ball. The boys couldn't track them. Chicken, G-Print, I might tell you, big man, me I tell you no joke. Jamaica by nature doesn't run a lot. Who want contest upon that? No one see take and chuck and feel. I see Jamaica run a lot. The Jamaicans don't go run fast. 10 seconds, 12 seconds, I let them want to run fast. That's why we don't do well in long distance, because we don't run a lot. We don't want to continue running. So it's a good point, chicken. Very, very good point. Yes? We couldn't track them, man. We don't have that in our DNA. So we need to develop a sort of system then, how to stop tracking. There's one and two things, is that we go back to old days where you get some players who are string this thing and start to put them under pressure, mark them out. But we cannot play zoning and we can't afford to get back because players are moving so often and so quickly. USA doing it. Hey, USA is a good team. Nobody wants to say that. People talk about this US team is a weak team. Yes, it is, because of the names that we know not playing. But the players represent themselves well, people. You see where system is concerned, man. Trust me. Not one MLS man on the USA team. I hold up on the team. Not one MLS man on the USA A team. They're saying that all the other players plays overseas. Oh Lord. Party in Dallas. We short 11 seconds runners, not for 90 minutes. That's what I'm saying. So we don't run a lot, we don't chuck a lot. And that's one of the issues that we have to develop. How to develop that? Not too sure. But we have to train, we have to do it, we have to track. Hey, you see, I think when you shadow training, I don't know if coaches in at this level use these things. But shadow training is an old training, is an old drill that I believe you can use, yes, to climatize player. People run without the ball, running, moving positions, on and off the ball. Those are the things. Those are what we have to look at. Zoning doesn't work these days, boss. Give a man 3 feet and that's plenty of space. But the chicken, I know that. And that's why we were in trouble. Because we were zone marking. We're zone marking people you can't keep up with. Yes, we have to be close. Use our strength. Use the strengths, man. What just signed 5-year deal with Juventus? Oh, where? Oh, okay. Yeah, but look at it. Where did he play most of his games, people? Right there in the MLS, coming through the draft. Yes, from college, don't it? Mm-hmm. So Way's doing well. But the fact I'm making is, I am not saying that we should have Premier League player, but let it be a toss up. We should be hearing, boy, this particular player just miss out because we're taking the more experience. But it shouldn't be that none of our players can knock on the door, on the national door for to get somebody to look in. Eh? It can't be that not one player who play in the JPL can knock on Hal Gibson's door. No, sir. So we need something. There's something missing right there and then. There's a missing link in our football. Again, where is it? What is that missing link? The Jamaica Premier League, people, has been revitalized, and I believe is being run very good. They are moving towards a real professional league. They are a professional league based on the standards of what management of football is doing. But the quality of play is not so much professional yet. The professional arm of the league decided that they will use the best fields in the country to play the football on. That was a little indecisive for some of us because, some teams wouldn't have a home game. And some teams like an Arnett Garden would have a lot of advantage because most of the matches were played there. So the teams they were using Arnett Gardens, they were using up by JC, they were using Mount Pleasant, are down by Jacksal, and I think where is the use? I think Stadium East? No. Yes. But saying that to say it is a good idea. So people won't complain about the pitches or the poor pitches. They will have to work with it. And I'm saying there are some matches that I've seen some good football play. Football that looks like Jamaica is moving up the ladder. There are some games, some players look like they are edging towards being, in the light that any European clubs will take a look, even if they are not ready to take them on, but they will take a look. All right, they will take a look. World Cup window will be shorter than the Gold Cup. So let's see if time factor be the excuse. All right, can't manage man. Simo's first game was versus Mexico. What was the result of that first game? At that point, did you have any confidence in Simo's or the team to make it to World Cup? Because I can tell you now, that 1998 thing, that was a real work on this year. Many of us never have a clue. Many of us don't have never even confident that we'd have made it to World Cup. All right, so let me hear that. Let's see how well that come in. All right. Yeah, trust me. I'm really getting tired. So I just have about 2 minutes to close. 2 minutes to close the show. So if you have your last comment, please do so. And let's go. So J Printer, we need to bring in man like Tapa Whitmore in the midfield, who can pick up the ball and dribble straight down on the 18-yard box against the new standard of sending the ball out to the wings. Yeah, just right. And Chicken G Printer, yes, you're right. But maybe not a talent like a Whitmore, but a real ball handler, creative midfield player. So maybe if in Gray's plethora of skills and knowledge can drift a bit inside more, yes, because I know he can play the front line quite well. I've seen him did that. I've seen he played there at Leicester, he played there at Everton. Yes. So as much as he loves outside wide, he can do through the middle. So if he can do that and drift inside, then we'll have that. We need that creative player, people. We need somebody to take the ball to say, hey, let's go. And that's what we did find in the US game, in the Mexico game. We were trying some outrageous pass to reach to Gray and to Bailey. Very outrageous. Again, we talk about Gray and Bailey right through the show. But we had some very serious errors made in defense. The third goal that scored, I don't know what type of defending Damian Lowe did there. That is also, I believe, a very, very poor one. Let's say, just to bring it back, that would be unpredictable. Yeah, man, that's true. The type of player who Whitmore was, the creative type of players, we don't have that. And I will say, because some of us as coaches, young coaches, don't want the youth them to dribble anymore. Yeah, we're stopping them from do what they love or what they can do. And that's what's gonna help us if we don't. We have to bring, how could we create creative players if we don't want the players to dribble? Brazil, I would think Jesus saves. Well, I hope Jesus will continue to save, but that Brazilian man is kind of out of touch with football right about now in terms of coaching. But maybe, just maybe, he could add a little. He could give us some real, hints on how to go about certain games because he must be doing his research and study. Clark believe in training, pep in talent and money. Which is stronger? Which is better? Talent and money. Let's work for coach boss. But to be a top coach now, to be successful, you have to learn to blend all of that, yes? Because if you can't deal with the big talent, and the money, you can't coach them team, you can't deal with the egos, you're going to have problem. So club train and train. So whatever ego in players have, them go through the training system. It's a drill. Yes. All right. So Grim still trying to figure what? His best team? Yes, and I do believe that. He still needs time, RR. So give him that. Still trying to figure it out, and we'll give him a little bit more time. I think he needs at least another year, I believe, to get this thing right. So another year would leave us basically 2 years or a year and a half before the World Cup. That's enough time because now he's supposed to have his nucleus of players looking at, and then have a wider base that he will deal with because he'll have to come back to the local base players to play some of these friendlies. He will have to. So all is not lost for local players. And I'm gonna say it again. All is not lost for our local players. All right. Um, the English midfielders need space. Tapa would create space. You see, chicken. Oh boy, I tell you. These English players, it's not that they need space, because the way the English league plays, they don't get a lot of spaces. They have to create it for themselves. The movements that create that. So it's not like they just get the space off. They had to create. They create the spaces. The movement on and off the ball help them to create that space. So we have to get that right. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I must say it was very a good night, and I want to thank you, RRG Printer. Yes, I want to thank you very much for chiming in. I also want to thank all the new fans who come out and have not yet even subscribed. Well, they probably subscribed, but nothing has been said in the chat. Dallas, Eba Chairman, big up yourself as well. I want to big up Dale Thompson. He was our very good guest until his phone went blank. So big up Dale Dunga Thompson for doing such a wonderful job co-host with me tonight and brought a lot of information out there. All right. We also want to big up Randall White, man, aka Randy. Big up yourself. I know you're gone to your bed now, Randy, but that's how it is. Thank you for cheering. Thank you very much for participating in the chat tonight. And of course, all ours, we also have Mark Whittick Ticks. We have R.N. Horace. We have Lassell Thompson. Those persons, Travis earlier. Big up yourself, man, and thanks again for your participation in this night. Mr. Nelson, Mr. Donaldson, rather, you run away. I want to get a little charming from you. Dan Lewis, big up yourself too. Thank you for joining. And the ever faithful Mr. Lee, thank you very much for joining. As we end the show, people, we just want to say, ensure, please join us on Wednesday, where we will have educational night this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Show that you won't want to miss. We'll chime into what is coming new to our educational system. Not so much all the new things, but things that are very, very important. Important in the sense that, we ought to know what's happening. And so we will get into that. When is the Nation League? We'll need to go back to the local players with Premier League starting soon. Yes, of course. The Nation League will be. All right. I'm not too sure when it starts, but it will start very soon. So, of course, we'll have to get back to to the local players. Of course, we don't have any doubt that we'll have to do that. And, but with all of that, people, we still have to respect, our chances and going to the World Cup. Nation League will have to come and give us some other needed opportunity to see other players, so we can match up, we can integrate these players, especially when, our so-called big names are out of it. So the Nation Leagues, I'll bring you more information on that, but for tonight, I can't give you a definite list. All right, best up, Saudi. and the guests and participants. Bless up yourself, everyone. And thank you very much again for joining, because this is the Chris Show, and I hope you'll join me on Wednesday night where we'll look directly on education. So thank you very much for joining, and this is where we say blessings and good night. Bless up yourself.